Hey, everybody. It's Tuesday afternoon, and this is the Perspective Shifters, and today we're going to be talking about obstacles. Oh my gosh, we all have them. We all get setbacks. We all get like those things that stand in our way as entrepreneurs, right? And today we're going to be talking with an amazing young lady who has kind of come up and through every single fire thrown in front of her. And so what this platform is this is called the Perspective Shifters, and we're all about uplifting, leveraging you with what you do. That's amazing. My name's Erin Strayer. I'm an accelerated business strategist, and I help you get clear, focused program alignment. But it's not about me today. It's about our guest, who I'm going to bring her on, and I'm going to talk about her in front of her. This is Amanda Beson, and she is fantastic. And I'm going to talk about her while she's hanging right here on that. She is the epitome and the definition of ambition. And if you think I'm joking, there's nothing joking about that. So this lady is a licensed cosmetologist. She's had her own in-home daycare, very successful daycare. She's managed and pursuing a music career. She's actually launched her own EP, which is like half an album, if I'm right. That's like, what, 5-6 songs, something like that she's written and produced and recorded. And it's out there, and it's all over every single possible music platform that you can imagine that you can find this lady. No joke. She also, in between that, she is the acting communications director of a very large organization, right? Let's keep going, because there's more. I know. And while she's doing all of this, she's following her heart's desire, which is starting and launching a nonprofit organization, uplifting and leveraging teens, women, teen girls, to make sure that they live in their own power in their own way. This is Amanda Beson, ladies and gentlemen. She's here. Hi, honey.
Hi. How are you? And how are all of you?
All of us are fine. And as you guys are coming on, let us know that you're here. Say hi to us. And we'll kind of give you a shout out as you come on to us. And we're going to be talking about a lot of things today as entrepreneurs, right? Like, there are so many things that we face, and and it all starts with a dream, right?
Mm-hmm. That it does.
Yeah. So we're going to let you talk for a second, Amanda. I know I'm really going to let you.
Oh, okay. It's my turn. So I definitely like to share my tips just from personal experiences. I think that's how we can all learn and grow, is just through our own experiences. And I've had the opportunity to have many learning experiences in the last couple of years. And for me, as Erin mentioned, kind of my passion, my dream I'm following to start up this nonprofit. Truthfully, it started back when I was feeling kind of down in the dumps, and I felt like I'm going through the motions in life here, and why am I actually on this earth? And what is my purpose? And I was kind of doing the drive to work every day, and loved my job, by the way, but I was driving to work. It wasn't where I was supposed to be. And every single day it was, man, I feel like I should be doing something else. I feel like I should be doing something else, but I don't know what. And it was just that cycle of, is this really all there is in life kind of feeling? And it kind of came from a dark, deep place. And then it just kind of hit me. This is the shortened version, but I ended up giving a homeless girl a ride home. Found her at the gas station, and she asked me for a ride, and it just like catapulted my heart to know that there's a lot of girls that need help, a lot of girls that were just like her. I could relate to her, and I wasn't in her situation at all, but it's just that thing that we all can relate to each other, and it just like exploded in my heart that I need to help girls. And that's kind of where the dream started. That's where the vision came to me. And from that, I kind of sat on it for like 6 months. And I was like, well, I know I want to help girls. And that's it. And I just look, and I think if I would have sat on that forever, that's all it would have been. And so, I think just going and realizing, okay, I know I want more, and I know I'm made for more. So where does that stem from? And so, I think that first part is just that vision, the dream, what sparks it, and then what are you going to do with it?
Yeah. Yeah. And quite honestly, when you have monumental experiences like the girl from the gas station,
Mm-hmm.
that's a life-changing experience.
Absolutely.
Because had you ever given anybody a ride before?
No.
Like, let's just frame this up a little bit. She's in Nashville.
Yep.
By herself as a young woman, herself, Amanda is. Pretty scary to give somebody a ride anywhere in the U.S., period, let alone in a town you're not from, you don't know anybody there, you're there trying to make it big, doing your thing on your off time, and you give this girl a ride.
Yep. Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah.
But sometimes no. You just know when you're supposed to do something. And I knew I couldn't say no. So I'm forever thankful for that girl. Her name is Miranda, by the way. Little shameless plug. I did write a song for her. It was inspired by that incident and really what kind of sparked everything else. But the song is called Miranda. I have big dreams for that, as I hope she hears it one day. So you can go check it out, and maybe Miranda will hear it someday.
Yeah, and this is what happens, people. If you're watching the replay of this and this is touching you in some way, shape, or form, which as we roll here, I can't imagine this doesn't touch you in some way. But when you have, I'm just going to go back there again to that life-changing moment. Life-changing. Yeah. How many minutes was she with you?
12.
12 minutes, people. 12 minutes this young lady was in Amanda's car. 12 minutes it took this lady to shift Amanda's life for the rest of her days on this earth. 12 minutes.
Yep.
Let that land for a second. And what rolled out of 12 minutes of Miranda intersection with Amanda is now this dream has become this vision. And the vision has goals. And there's massive action that's been taken from that. Yep. And it's happening. Yep. It's happening. Yeah. But that's not without, it's really super exciting and really super cool.
It's super scary.
Super scary. Yeah. So how did you start? What was the first, do you remember how that all rolled for you?
A little rewind in my life. I guess before I moved to Nashville, I was working with another girl named Lindsay Henry. She's awesome. She's actually a writer and does amazing things. So she's one of my good friends, and I was working with her, and we were actually working to start a nonprofit for teen girls at that time. And that was really honestly kind of more her vision and idea, and she brought me in with it. And so it didn't work out at the time that we were working to do it, and that's where led me over to Nashville. And so the idea of, I know that I want to help girls, it kind of flooded back to what was started a few years before that. And that was a nonprofit. And so I guess the idea of where is this going and how does this get started, that was placed on my heart from years before. And that just goes to show you that sometimes it doesn't all happen right when you're expecting it to, but it can be a little seed that plants and then it grows from there. And so that was kind of my seed that was planted years prior. And I think I needed to do some learning and some living before it actually came into place. And so my next step after having it was kind of the shock back into, hey, Amanda, you need to help people moment with Miranda, was like, okay, I really think that I'm supposed to start a nonprofit. And then I was super terrified. So I took it in for a few weeks, really, of just kind of, I was like, I want to start this, but I don't know what to do. I'm here in Nashville. I don't really know people, and I don't know. There's just a lot of me spinning around. And and then
nobody else has ever felt any of those things, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm sure. Probably not. I'm the only one. I'm crazy. It's fine.
You're the only one.
Honestly, so a lesson that I learned in life, and it was one that I definitely had to learn. I don't think it's a natural instinct, and maybe it is for some people, but it sure wasn't for me. And it was seeking wise counsel. I'm very, very good at seeking the people I want to talk to, or just are close to me at the moment, but maybe aren't experts in an area that I need some counsel in. And so I learned from the past again that, okay, I need to really zone in here, and who would be helpful to get this dream going. I can't do it on my own. I need a team behind me, and I need to learn from some people. And so really my next step after knowing I want to start up a nonprofit, it was I need to tap my resources, and I need to see who can help me. And I came home to Michigan and visited my family, and I reached out to a few people. I had 4 different meetings while I was in town for a weekend. And in that weekend, life unfolded. And it was, okay, I got your back. Here's what we're going to do moving forward. And I sought out people that were on board with what I was doing and had the knowledge to be able to help me and encourage me. And Erin Strayer was one of them. So big thanks to you, Erin. But she helped me out in getting some direction and what am I going to do? Where are we going to go with this? And to have those key people on your side is huge. And I think that all starts with you. I think you're totally, there's people in your life that are amazing for you, and they might just come out of the woodwork. But I do think that it's kind of on you, and it's kind of selective. Who are you going to surround yourself with, and who are you going to bring on board with you? They get to be a part of what you're doing just as much as they're helping you. They get to be a part of it too. So don't undersell yourself with that.
That's
so I
huge.
That was the next step for me. Yeah.
Don't undersell yourself. Yeah. And make sure that you, I'm just recapping what she's saying, people. So, she had the vision, and then she reached out to strong people that she felt would uphold and lift her and keep her accountable through this process. Yeah. That's huge. And those are resources that everybody probably has, and you don't even realize that you have them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. So then what happened?
So then then everything fell into place, and now my nonprofit's all over the world, and everyone knows about it. And I was eating brownies and cookies while it all happened. Brownies and cookies sound so good right now, by the way.
Yeah, doesn't it? I know. Frosted or not frosted?
Not frosted. No frosted.
Not frosted. Me too. Not frosted.
So I would appreciate brownies and cookies. Send them my way. Thanks. So yeah, the next step was I moved from Nashville to Michigan, and I want to just pause right there and say I didn't have to move in order to start this. Whatever you're doing, you can start it wherever. I don't want you to be discouraged or anything by location or anything like that. If you want to do something, you can do it. But it just worked out better for me in my scenario. I moved back to Michigan. I was back near my family, and I ended up having some resources that opened up to really get my program started out on the right foot where I wanted it. Big dreams, big hope for it would be that it grows and we can take it outside of Michigan. But that was a starting ground for me. So I moved back to Michigan. I started my plans just kind of every single day. It's so funny because starting out, it's like you look at where you're at and you look at where you want to be, and you're like, wow, I'm never going to get there. Like, it's just it just feels like forever away. And it feels like there's a million things that you need to do. And you're like, what one do I even start with? Like 1 to a million, what's the one I start with? And you just start with one. Any of them is kind of what I'm learning, that you just start. And that was my biggest thing. I got hung up a little bit. And once you go, it's crazy how the other things will kind of prioritize themselves at times, where, you can get going and you think you're going to go this direction, but then life is like, okay, hold on, we need to talk about these points first. And it just kind of lines itself up, but you got to start. If you don't start, nothing else will get rolling.
Yeah. Hey, I just want to shout out here to Cheryl. Cheryl says that your guest today is beautiful and you can hear her heart. Yes, Cheryl, you like, I'm so glad that you can hear that in Amanda, because it exudes every single cell of her body, like her passion and her desire and her tenacity to keep on going is just unparalleled. It's pretty impressive. So thanks for pointing that out. It's awesome that you can hear that coming through in how she's talking. That's awesome. Cheryl's one for you to connect with, by the way, Amanda. Just FYI.
Awesome. Cheryl, we'll talk. I love it. I love connecting. Just thank you so much, Erin, for everything you're doing. You are connecting so many lives, and it's awesome. I mean, I think that you don't brag on yourself enough, which is a great quality of yours, but you need somebody to brag on you, and you're awesome. So thank you for everything you're doing.
Oh, yeah, thanks. There's a handful of people on with us. Hi, Jessica. Thanks for being here. Yeah, so is any of this lining up with the people that are online with us? I mean, are you guys getting what Amanda's laying down, and like that, there's steps and procedures, and you just really got to start somewhere. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter. You just got to start. Let us know what you think about that, and we're going to keep on rolling here. So you started.
Yep, I started.
And then other things started going, okay, hey, we gotta kind of focus on this stuff over here.
Yep. Yeah, and honestly, I started things fell into place really nicely for a little bit, and I was like, yes, this is easy, great, it's meant to be. I'm supposed to be doing this program. See, it's all lining up. And then wrenches got thrown into the mix, and I was like, oh my gosh, what is happening? Maybe I shouldn't be doing this. Maybe I was totally wrong. And oh my goodness, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not qualified for this. And then all of a sudden, like, it seems like it goes completely hand in hand. The minute that you kind of hit that road bump or you get that setback, it's like just the open door for your mind to say, all right, here we go. We're going to tell you every reason why this is not going to work and why it's wrong. And it's so funny, though. It doesn't happen until there's something that distracts you from all the good that's been happening and all the progress that you've made. So, I mean, that stuff doesn't come into play. It doesn't affect you until you get that bump. Then once you get the bump, then all of a sudden, better put your armor on, because you got a battle happening.
Yeah, Jessica says she started, but it's slow, and she just feels like she's missing something.
Yeah. And this is something that, truthfully, Jessica, I am with you. And I think it's when you have a passion, when you have something that you want it done yesterday. Like, you can't get it done fast enough. So it's never going to be to the speed that you want it. Okay. And I struggle with that. I mean, I'm like, I want to be helping all the girls in the world, on the planet right now. I want them all hanging out in my living room right now. And they're not. I'm going to be hanging out with you guys. But something that I learned from somebody else, her name's Sarah, and she gave me a great tip. And it was, especially when you're starting out, but I want to carry this out forever. She said, you need to write down your wins. Things that you're doing. Write down your wins, whether it be that, Jessica, your win today was that you started. Or your win today was that you booked a meeting that you've been putting off for 2 weeks. It can be really little wins, or it can be a win, hey, I got my LLC in place, or I got my nonprofit status in the books. It could be bigger things like that. It could be, oh my goodness, we just got a $25,000 grant. It can be anywhere in between, but write it down on your journey. And then when you have those moments of feeling like, I feel like this is never going to get there, or it's so slow, you read back. I literally have a book. I wish I had it right close to me, but I don't, but I'd show you. But I call it my book of wins. And it's a hardcover notebook. Like, I didn't go cheap on this one. I got it nice because I want it to be like a storybook. And so I write down my wins in those days where I am just like, I just don't feel like anything's happening. I haven't made any progress. All of a sudden you look back at all your progress and you're like, dang, I've done a lot. But you just don't realize it. So write it down. It's huge.
Yeah. and that ends up being your gratitude, right? Like all those wins, like when you actually go back and look at them and you're like, oh, I am making progress. Oh my gosh, I forgot I was there at one point in time, and look at how far I've come. And oh my gosh, I remember not wanting to reach out to that person, and now I've talked to him a dozen times, and we have this great relationship. And oh my gosh, look at this, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah. So, the brownies and all things is hunky-dory, right? Like you've not hit any obstacles at all along your path.
Yeah, right. Yep,
not one.
Obstacles are a pain in the butt.
Yeah.
They're not fun, but they totally happen. They happen in small ways and they happen in big ways. And I'll just go real personal here. I had an experience with my nonprofit. We had an event all set up, ready to go, and we had things fall through with the venue. We had it fall through 6 days before the event. This is an event 6 days. I had been planning for months in advance, and we are good to go. And 6 days before, it's a no-go. And there was a day I literally had where I had to call every single person on my list who was there. We had music lined up. I had to call every single musician. I had to call every volunteer. I had to call sponsors. I had to call a long list of people and tell them it's not going to happen. And every single time, every time I had to call them, it felt like it was me saying I failed, and just thought I'd call and let you know I failed, and it's not going to happen. And the first day, I cried a lot because it felt like I failed. And it felt like, what did I do with the last 6 months of my life? Everything that I've been planning for is not lining up with how it was supposed to be. What was the point of planning everything if it's all going to not even work out the way I wanted it to? And right. It took me a few days, honestly, to get over it. And there was a lot of tears shed. I had very bitter feelings, but I think I needed that time to really just, okay, I'm going to have a pity party for a minute. I'm going to cry. I'm going to be disappointed about it because it was a big disappointment, and that's okay. Things happen, and it'd be weird almost if you aren't disappointed, because it doesn't show that you've got the passion and the heart in it in the first place.
Bingo.
So it's okay. It's okay to be disappointed, and I was. And so, just moving forward from that, then you have your time, you're sad about it, you move forward. What are we going to do differently? And it's just
almost like a funeral for your
feelings.
Right? For your feelings. It's a little funeral for your feelings.
Yep. Yeah.
You have to take that time, and that's like a sacred time too, isn't it? Like, yes. Really, if you don't take the time to grieve over,
it carries.
Yeah, and it sticks, and it like becomes part of you, right?
Yeah, and that's gross. Ugh.
Yeah, you don't want any part of it.
I don't want to be bitter and crabby. I like being fun and happy. It's more fun,
Right, and fun. Yeah,
it's fun. It's fun to be fun.
Right. Yeah.
Anyways,
So you moved through that. You had your little funeral for your feelings. I love that.
Funeral for your feelings. That's good.
We're gonna use that going forward. And then what happened?
Then I started planning again. I had to start again, because I wasn't going to just sit there on the fact that the event didn't happen, because then what's going to happen with this nonprofit? The nonprofit is like my heart. It needs to happen, and it's not going to just pop out of nowhere and do itself, Do itself. That wasn't probably the best phrase, but whatever.
That's okay.
So I mean, I had to start planning again. And I had to, call some venues, and I got hooked up with an amazing venue. I got hooked up with an amazing team of people who are helping to plan this. And the event was going to be in the fall. Now it's going to be in the winter. So, I mean, the season's changed. and just as they do in real life. And, you know, I had to change some activities that we're doing, and I had to call some different people, and, you know, but it was the same concept that I'm going to plan just like I planned before. And now I'm getting good at planning, and, you know, I'm getting a little better at managing my time with how I plan and how I work my other million things that I do. And yeah, and you just keep moving on. And so I just planned, and I kept starting, and it's back to that. You got to start. Like, had my feelings funeral, and it's really easy to get stuck there at the funeral because they are giving you nice food, and, you know, people are hugging you, and people are like, poor you, and how terrible of the world, and how great you are. I mean, shoot, I could stay there forever. But what happens if you stay there?
Right.
You stay there. And so you have to start, you know? So
start again. But it's not really starting again because there's a whole lot already done.
There's a whole lot already done. Yes. And that's where the Book of Wins helps you remember you're not starting again. You've already got this, and this, and this, and this in place. So here we go. Start at chapter 4.
Love it. Love it. Love it. It's so good. It's so good. So the moral of the story from the event was what?
The moral of the story is that you got to keep going, and don't let other people, first of all, I didn't really mention on it, but don't let other people ruin your dreams.
Amen, sister.
Don't hand over your dreams.
Can give me an amen.
Yeah. Don't do it, because they didn't work hard for your dreams like you did, and they have no right to them. And I could have very easily handed over my dreams to somebody else in this situation. And I'm so happy that I didn't, because, oh man, would that just feel bad. I don't even know a good word, but yeah, just keep pushing forward. Keep fighting for what is on your heart, that you know is right, that you know is good. And, you know, you just got to keep pushing through. And honestly, it would be so easy. It would be easy to go through life and do the check in, check out, punch in, punch out. This is life. But who wants easy? Like, easy is so dull, and easy is boring, and easy is not as impactful as you can be. And, you know, I think that's the biggest thing is it's really hard. It's super emotional to go through this. It's emotional to have the courage to start something. It's emotional to get your dreams stomped on and have somebody throw negativity and bad things back in your face. It's emotional to see the amazing wins that happen along the way. You're like crying tears of joy, and then the next day you're so sad because somebody just like isn't on board with what you're doing or something, you know. And it is emotional. And roller coasters, you know, like they get your belly all tossed up and turned, and then like you spend a day at Cedar Point, you're tired by the time you go home, because, you know, and that's the way it is with your emotions. That's the way it is running anything. Like, you're going to be tired just because it takes everything you have, but that's what makes it so great.
Yeah. So I think I know this answer, but that roller coaster of emotions,
mm-hmm.
how does that drive you forward? Do you let it drive you forward? Do you let it keep you where you're at? Do you kind of let it take its spin and wait for the guy to let you off, or what do you do?
No, I mean, if you ride the emotional roller coaster and let that be your driving force, I'm scared for you. Because who knows what's going to happen? I mean, shoot, the roller coaster might not be finished, and all of a sudden you're flying off into the ocean. I don't know. Right. We're really getting visual here. Right. But no, I mean, that comes and goes with it, but you got to ride the waves. You got to, you know, there's those days where you're low and you want to stay in bed all day, or you want to never call another person again, or you just want to remove your name from the game because it's too hard, I surrender, I give up, but you can't do that because it's just not going to work out. It's just not the way to do it. So you need to just keep pushing forward, and, you need to just keep going always.
Keep your jersey on. Keep the jersey on. Keep the skin in the game.
You can't stop. You can't stop.
Yeah.
So you're the driver. You're the driver in this, and you might take a ride sometimes, but you're the driver.
I love that. I love that. We're going to respect people's times, Amanda. I'm going to respect yours. I know you're as busy as everybody else that comes into the Perspective Shifters. I have one last question. I have a favorite question that I love to ask. Okay. Are you ready?
I hope so.
If you were to give advice to your younger self, what would it be?
For me personally, it would be give yourself more credit, and period. Give yourself more credit. You can do a lot more than you think you can.
That's beautiful. It's amazing what you can do when you're challenged with stretching just a little bit more.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. I'm so proud of you. Ladies, this has been Amanda Beson. If you are interested in what she's doing and the foundation that she has formed for teens, I'm going to let her drop her link into this, into the feed of this. Enough. For me, I am enough. Awesome, Jessica. I love that. And I highly encourage you guys to go check it out. Amanda is a powerhouse. She is a loving, compassionate, grounded, amazing soul. And I really highly recommend that you go check out her nonprofit organization to see what she's doing for our young teens. Not only just in our area, but the dream is to have it in 18 other locations and like all over the U.S., right, and all over the world. And again, Amanda Beson, her links are in the feed. I'm Erin Strayer. This is the Perspective Shifters. We're all here to shift your perspective on how you look at things a little bit different. So we're so thankful that you guys have been with us. Thanks everybody who's been on live. And thank you so much, Amanda, for your time. I love that you were here with us today.
Thanks for having me.
Awesome. Have a great day, everybody.